City Council meeting for the City of Lamar. I'm Mayor Kirk Preston. We're going to start with the invocation tonight. We have Galen to do the invocation. Galen, would you mind?
We thank you in the name of Jesus. Amen.
This for all.
Okay, thank you for joining us in the invocation and the pledge. The new section is audience participation. During this portion of the meeting, anyone may speak on any subject that does not appear on the council agenda. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each, and it's at the discretion of the council if they choose to allow them to have more time. Is there anyone here tonight that would like to speak to the council on an item that's not on the agenda?
Yes.
Okay, if you'd like to come up and stand at the podium, we just need your name and address for the record.
My name is Diana Touche. I'm located at 7009 County Road S, Lamar, Colorado. And so I have a petition for you today, and it's about the SECO Pride Fest that's supposed to occur on the 23rd of July at the Enchanted Forest and the Pocket Park as well. So, well, let me hand this to you. I only have one copy, sorry.
Okay.
So,
Did you want that to read what you had put on there?
no. This is a document, and it just tells who the SECO Pride group is.
Okay.
And then behind it is the flyer that they put out. And here is an example of their dancing. So, here. Did you see, ma'am?
Okay. All right.
So maybe I do need this.
Okay.
And I'll give it to you as soon as I'm done.
Okay. 1 minute 43.
So, to begin with, I'm going to read the petition to you. This is the one that's opposed. I also have one that's for them coming. And so here's the way it reads. We, the majority citizens of Lamar, Colorado and Prowers County, Colorado, are opposed to events that celebrate, promote, or affirm sexual orientations and/or preferences, whether heterosexual, homosexual, bisexual, asexual, or transsexual. We believe any and all sexual persuasions celebrated in the public. Oh, no, wait a minute. We believe any and all sexual persuasions and preferences should be confined to the privacy of one's own home, and certainly not promoted or celebrated on public property held by the City of Lamar or Prowers County. We, the undersigned citizens of Lamar, Colorado, and or Prowers County, Colorado, hereby petition the Lamar City Council and the Prowers County Commissioners indefinitely suspend the above noted event, to deny any future applications of similar events per the request of the majority of the citizens of the above said community as evidenced by the following signatures. Now, we've added to that, we, the undersigned citizens of Lamar, Colorado and or Prowers County, Colorado, hereby petition the Lamar City Council and the Prowers County Commissioners to 1, indefinitely suspend the above noted event, and to deny future applications of any similar events per the request of the majorities of the citizens. But now we added another paragraph.
Okay. Well, your 3 minutes is up.
It is?
Yes, it is. That's what the alarm was. I'm sorry, what?
I would like to relinquish my 3 minutes.
Okay. To her? Okay. I will restart my 3 minutes again for the next 3 minutes.
So we added another paragraph to our petition. And And it states, in the event the above petition is not successful, we subsequently petition our elected officials to establish and enforce a mandate that attendees of any LGBTQ 1A, 2S plus events must be at least 18 years of age as a precaution to prevent exposing minors from any nude, lewd, or unsafe conduct that might occur. Now, I've taken this petition to Lamar, Holly, Grenada, and what I've heard is the only cure is a lock and load, which means guns. And now I sure don't want any little kids to be in a situation like that. So, this is the petition. There are a total of 633 citizens that are opposed. And as I said, I also did a petition for those that want them to be here. And so let me read this to you. I, Diana Touche, attest to the fact that I began carrying the petition that is against the SECO Pride Festival coming to Lamar on 6/23/23, but soon realized I needed to carry a petition for those that wanted the SECO Pride Festival to come to Lamar. So on 6/29/23, I began soliciting signatures for both those that wanted the SECO Pride Festival to come to Lamar and those that didn't want them to come to Lamar. And I accumulated 26 signatures on the ones that wanted them to come. And of those 26 that I solicited, without the petition, I added their signatures as, not their signatures, but I counted them. So I added them to this number, and it came to a total of 26. Okay? And that's it. Thank you very much.
Okay.
And now I need to bring you your copy.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I left you with 21 seconds left, so good timing. Is there anyone else who would like to speak to the council on an item that's not on the agenda tonight? If so, please come forward, state your name and your address for the records. I'll have that scanned and sent to the council for review.
I'm Barbara Hernandez, 8305 Surrey Ridge Court, here in Lamar. When I learned about this event, I questioned, can anybody reserve the pocket park or the Enchanted Forest for an event? Anybody? And if so, what is the code of conduct? Is there a code of conduct? I asked Linda, I asked the Recreation Department. Are there any expectations of the hosts of the event? Clean up, whatever. I was told by the Recreation Department, just follow the law is all they have to do. And Linda told me, just follow the law. So, okay, I thought, well, it seems to me there should be a code of conduct, especially when we all know, when you look at the entertainers, you can see their name. So I did go on Facebook and see what these people were all about. And they are self-proclaimed drag queens. And so their entertainment is that very seductive, very promiscuous, and that's just what they do. That's their form of entertainment. So naturally I thought, well, we got kids going by and families hanging out and stuff. So surely there's something that they must comply with, knowing that we know what their occupation is. You can see, you did see, this is one of the entertainers that is coming. And I'm sure you saw and this is pretty promiscuous. So tonight, just tonight, I was handed this. You'll take one and pass it down. There is basically a code of conduct that is in your, the municipal code, in your code of ordinances. Chapter 14, offenses. And it's 14 through 18. And under number 2, you will see that it's under harassment in a public place, one that would direct obscene language or makes an obscene gesture to or at another person. And that's under the latest version, A, number 2. And then the second page, B, under number 8, says, as used in this section, unless the context otherwise requires the term obscene, because that's what I thought it looked like, was obscene behavior, lewd behavior. So the term obscene means a patently offensive description of ultimate sexual acts or solicitation to commit ultimate sexual acts, whether or not said ultimate sexual acts are normal or perverted, actual or simulated, including masturbation, fellatio, and I don't even know these words, or excretory functions.
Okay, if you can wrap it up, you're already
Yes.
30 seconds
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
But go ahead.
So, FYI, there is a code,
Yep.
and this is what's going to be happening on Sunday, July 23rd. So,
Okay, thank
you
you.
might hand it off to Kyle.
Okay. Is there anyone else who would like to speak to the council on an item that's not on the agenda? Just state your name and your address.
My name's Michael Hernandez, 1001 South 10th and Cedar. You know, the devil slipped in the hole here pretty damn easy, you know. When a person can go down there from a far left agency and turn around and destroy our community. And you know what I mean? That flag represents 1,000 of people that fought for our freedom. And here we are letting people put a pride flag on property as taxpayers' money. I think this needs to come up to a vote tonight. Because there's some concerned citizens like me that don't have kids that are concerned about the kids. They're going to have drag queens there dressed up. You know what a drag queen is? They dress up like a woman, and they're going to have little kids getting painted faces in this community by people, and then once they start getting drunk, they're going to start flashing. You know, the best way to go to hell is have your hands crossed and don't do a damn thing. So I tell you what, we're on the bottom of Rome, and there's a lot of people thinking, yeah. Well, right now the weeds are standing up and the bows are, the wheat's bowing. So I'm just saying, with all due respect, look at what you're doing to the children. It should have come up to a vote about anything on that agenda. The next thing is going to be the drag queen in the schools. We're going to have drag queens over the stadium on, who's going to be the best one dressing up like a drag queen. Is that what we want in this community with our children? Don't push it on the children, don't push it in this community, and don't push it in this family. Think about what you're doing.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak to the council on an item that's not on the agenda? You'll have to come up and state your name and address for the record.
My name is Iretha Ryder, 6054 County Road HH5, and I believe it's illegal for a pride flag to even be flown. I think if you look into the legalities, only American flags and veteran flags can be flown. And if I can find it. And according to Philippians 4:8, it says, "Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, and whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, And if there be any praise, think on these things. And the stuff that's planning to come in here is flat out pornography. And I don't think it should be allowed on a public place. You know, if they want to hold it on somebody's private property, that's private. But to have it out in a place where kids ride by on bikes or go, or even people like me, I would be abhorred just to see the disgusting pornography, the things that they do. And I just think that something needs to be done about it quickly. And so that was all I have to say.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, is there anyone else who would like to speak to the council on an item that's not on the agenda tonight?
Can I go up and talk about another issue?
Well, you had your, is it a different issue altogether? Are you good with that, council, or
I'm fine with that.
a different issue altogether?
I'm fine with that.
Okay, yep. Just state your name for the record as well, and we'll be good.
Okay. My name is Michael Hernandez, 10001 South 10th in Cedar, born and raised in Lamar, Colorado, taxpayer, homeowner, and it seems like the mayor's spending money like a drunken sailor. You know what I mean?
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because, you know, we got tax money, $250,000 you pay for Arby's land, the easement, both sides, the test of the ground, moving the building, all on taxpayers' money. Now, if Arby's complies with everything you want, you're gonna give them the land. That's slapping the taxpayers in the effing face. And you're putting the town in second place.
Okay.
Damn. Think about what you're really doing.
Okay. The thing that I wanted to point out, and I would like to just say, is that you had presented us with the laws, and our police department will keep an eye on it and make sure that they're following the laws. So, does anybody want to add to that?
I would, yes. And Kurt, you are absolutely correct. Because I've had several conversations with citizens out there. Me personally, no matter how disgusting I think that movement is, they still have the right to assemble. We as a council sitting here on these chairs have to understand the roles that we take as council members. They have the right to assemble, but they don't have the right to break the law. Now, once again, I hope up to our police department that they do their part to keep it in check and so forth, and it's a peaceful assembly and that things go on. Now, I'll go back. Me personally, no matter how nasty or disgusting I think the movement is, they still have that right. Just like any other individual, like Kurt explained, they have that right to assemble. It's not our job to take away those rights of their First Amendments. And we have to understand that when we sit here on this seat here and take that in, when we have to discuss it with citizens out there that are asking us those hard questions. Because the truth is, they have the right to assemble, even though we may disagree with it.
Okay, Mike?
What about the clause to be 18 years of age, since we've had, I mean, we know one Colorado was facing a bunch of protesters down here, they're also coming from Kansas. We already know that. They represent this secret right.
We have to have a reason for blocking any First Amendment, whether it's 18 and under or 18 and over, to block somebody from going to an event. And I'd asked you that question when you came to visit me. What are the grounds of making it 18 and under or 18 and over only? What are the grounds? They're not serving liquor. They're not selling marijuana or nicotine or anything else. They're not selling lottery tickets. So what are the grounds that prevent them from going to a public event in a public location that I understand? And if they get arrested for indecent exposure, that's what would happen to them. And that's what we were talking about with following the laws. So that's how we will address it. We're not in the middle of a town hall meeting, and I'll let you speak last, and so you can go ahead and speak right now, but there will be the last one that I'm gonna let speak from the audience. Just stand up if you want.
Thank you. Okay, so is there any type of law violation of an underage child receiving condoms or sex toys or any of that encouragement. They give out the suckers of the male genitals and they give out the suckers of the female genital, and those are their candies and their toys.
That would be up to the police department to determine. I'm not a law enforcement. I don't know what those laws would be, but I'm sure that they would address that if that was the case that was coming and happening.
And if they do a violation at this demonstration, will this prevent them from a future time coming? Because June was the time for them to express themselves, and they're bringing it now into July.
Right. Well, as I said, our job as the city is to make sure that all the laws are obeyed, and you're asking questions about certain items that would be based upon the law. And if they are broken, I'm sure that our police department will address that as needed, and we'll make sure that that happens. But we have a plan to at least monitor it. We're not there to harass them. We're not there to stand there on guard with clubs. We're there to monitor it. Am I correct in saying this? We're not there to harass them. We're not there to impede the event. We're there to make sure that it's staying above the board and in accordance with all of the laws. Mike, did you want to? I'm just going to allow the council to go through and say anything that they want to say before we move on to the rest. Just keep it short, please.
I came onto this council with a very heavy heart. I served 8 years in the United States Marine Corps for this country. And I served for every one of the citizens in this community to peacefully gather and to peacefully protest. And I will not infringe on those rights. You can vote me off this council, I don't care, but I'm not going to infringe on people's rights and their civil liberties. As far as them giving suckers and stuff to children, that's the parents' responsibility. I understand it, I hate it. It's disgusting to me also. At some point, though, parents have to take responsibility for their own children. If the public wants to, if they don't like what's going on, support the police department. Set up a table out there, sit there, be quiet, and offer coffee and donuts or power pills, whatever they call them, to the police department. Kool-Aid, drinks, something. Support the police department. They are your last line of defense in this community. They will make sure that doesn't get out of hand. And pray.
Okay. Thank you, Mike, and thank you for your service. So, Joe, and again, as I said a little bit ago, I'm going to let the council speak. This isn't an open town hall discussion. I'd let everybody speak. I give you all your 3 minutes. I'm going to let the council go through so we can move on with our meeting. So, Jerry, if you'd like to say anything.
Kyle, I'd just like to make sure that you will have enough law enforcement there. And, you know, a lot of us have our different opinions. I mean, if they fly the flag, it's no different from people flying the Trump flag there, whatever flags, you know. It's awful, but what do we do? And that's like I'm saying too. I'm here and my seat's coming up. I would be more than happy to give it to one of you guys, because it's not that easy being on city council like everybody thinks it is. And by saying that we're this and we're that and we do this and we do that. We have rules to follow too, just like everybody else. And that's really sad that not all our community, but some of our community is always putting us down. I work hard, I have grandkids, and I work for them, and I love being on city council. Let me tell you, we don't get paid thousands of dollars. I do it because I love my community. But when we have to put up with stuff like this, we get stabbed constantly in the back. And we don't even know which way to turn anymore. And that's how I feel.
Okay. Thank you, Jerry. Mike?
I don't know what more to really say to that, other than the fact that I've thought about this over and over and over. And the one thing that really sticks in my mind is our Constitution, our Bill of Rights. Freedom. Mike probably said it best. Mike, thanks for your service.
Daniel?
I love y'all. I do know that. I've said it time and again. You cannot legislate morality. You can't arrest somebody because they might speed. And by those thoughts and those patterns, we have to understand the kingdom of God has its own parameters. And so does our Constitution and our freedoms. That has parameters too. And when we look at Scripture, the fervent prayers of a righteous man availeth much. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood, principalities, powers, rulers in high places. Okay? And so I'm not saying what you're doing is wrong, but what I am saying is that there are dangers to trying to legislate things, because then they're going to be legislated against you in the opposite way. They're going to suddenly try to legislate against churches, maybe, and against preaching the truth. And so it's just, there are things and ways that we can work in what we do, but you can't arrest somebody because they might speed. You arrest them when they speed. And, you know, I get it, you know, the indecent things, and there's a place for everything. You go to the pool and people are in bikinis. If they rented it out for a beach party, they might be in bikinis there. I don't know. And you know, and you're right about, you know, there are things that are right and wrong about our culture and our society and the way things are going. I don't know how many times, you know, I cringe when they have backwards day and I see those young boys dressed up as cheerleaders. You've seen it. Probably some kids you know have done it. There it is, right? And so it's hard to get into an uproar about things that haven't happened yet. But pray. There's a right way. Pray, you know. I mean, these things didn't come overnight. It didn't happen overnight. Getting to the place where we're at in our culture didn't happen overnight. And I guess that's all I can say.
Okay, Brent?
I'll keep it short. I am also a God-fearing man, and I was taught by my God to love thy neighbor. And I will leave it at this. I am an ally. I have been an ally my entire life, and I will continue to be an ally for my friends and my family who are part of the LGBTQ community. Thank you.
Good. All right, so the only reason why I went through that and allowed all the council members to speak is because it does get very difficult, as Jerry said. It doesn't matter what side we try or how center we try to stay in the middle of certain topics. One side always tries to pull us or point to us and say, you're not doing enough, or you're not doing this, or you must be in favor because you're not stopping it. And that is not the case. It is our rules to stay in the middle and to try to make sure that we're abiding by the state, federal, and local laws. And we try to do that the best we can. It's not an issue that we're for this event or against this event. It's just that that is the limit of our authority as a city council and as a community government. So I wanted to give the council the opportunity to say their own personal opinions as we go through the list. But as I stated on mine, we've had these topics before over the last 3.5 years of me being the mayor. And in every instance, we've tried to address it the same way, making sure that everything is done by the book, proper permits, proper usage, proper making sure that they're following by the laws and guidelines of the state, local, and federal laws. And that's what we'll continue to do. So aside from that, I do hope that if there are any big protests, or I do hope that there's no problems. We do not want to be one of those communities that is all over the national news because somebody decided to, you know, act out of accordance because they didn't agree with their beliefs. That's not the community we need to be. You know, we don't need one gang fighting another gang, or one opposition fighting another, or one race or one creed or one religion fighting against another. That is not our community. That is not the city of Lamar. And I hope that in this event, we show what we really are. And it was great to get out and mingle amongst ourselves and showcase how great our city is.